It started quietly. No flashy teasers, no endless countdowns, just a date, a time, and the word who. When Jimin's solo track dropped earlier this year, even seasoned industry watchers underestimated what was coming. Sure, he's BTS's lead vocalist, a man whose voice could make even the toughest ARMY member tear up. But the music world is cruel, and even global superstars sometimes struggle to break away from their group's shadow. Yet within hours, Who became more than a song. It became an event. By the end of its first week, it wasn't just topping charts, it was rewriting history. In the first 24 hours, Who soared to #1 on both the Billboard Global 200 and Billboard Global Exclusive US, pulling in millions of streams from every corner of the world. Spotify's servers logged massive surges in countries where K-pop had never even cracked the top 50 before. But here's the real twist. Months later, August 2025, Who was still there, still charting, still breaking records, still making people stop in their tracks and say, wait, this song is still climbing? To understand why Who has this kind of grip on the charts, you have to look at three key forces. The vocal delivery, Jimin's signature blend of vulnerability and control, is rare in pop music. He doesn't just sing notes, he bleeds them. The lyrical universality, the song talks about longing and identity, feelings that translate across cultures and languages. The ARMY factor. BTS's fandom isn't just big, it's organized, motivated, and deeply emotionally connected to the members' individual projects. Music analysts have been fascinated by Who's curve on the charts. Usually a pop single spikes high, drops fast, and maybe resurfaces with a remix. Who didn't follow that script? Instead, it had a slow burn in some regions, massive spikes in others, and then an almost unnatural plateau, sitting comfortably in the top tiers week after week. In South Korea, it dominated Spotify's top artist chart for early August. In Japan, physical CD sales surged unexpectedly after a fan-organized Who Week. And in Latin America, a viral dance challenge on TikTok breathed new life into the song's streaming numbers. By the time August rolled around, Jimin wasn't just keeping Who alive, he was making headlines left and right. A Los Angeles night out. Just days into the month, photos surfaced of Jimin enjoying a rare, relaxed night in Los Angeles with other BTS members. Fans noticed he looked both effortlessly stylish and deeply happy, sparking theories that his recent success had lifted a huge weight off of his shoulders. A viral interaction with RM, his playful online banter with BTS leader RM went viral, reinforcing their bond and giving fans a reminder of the warmth behind the music. MTV VMA nomination. Amid controversy over other BTS members being snubbed, Jimin's solo nomination in the Best K-pop category became a rallying cry for ARMY to vote harder than ever before. These moments worked together like a perfect storm. Every new headline brought more streams to Who. Every fresh fan edit on social media made another person hit play. Ask any fan why Who matters, and they won't just talk about the melody or the production, they'll talk about how it feels. There's a quiet desperation in the verses, an ache in the way Jimin lets certain words tremble. The chorus isn't explosive, it's enveloping, pulling the listener into a space that feels both lonely and warm at the same time. For fans who have watched Jimin grow over the years, from the intense trainee who pushed himself past physical limits to the confident global star he is today, Who feels like a deeply personal letter. It's not just entertainment, it's connection. By mid-August 2025, industry data painted a staggering picture. Billboard Global 200 still holding in the top 10 after months. Billboard Global Exclusive US unmoved from a top 5 position for over 12 weeks. Spotify Global Top Songs racking up over 500 million streams since release. YouTube views. The official MV quietly crossed 300 million views with a comment section still actively buzzing daily. And yet, Jimin hasn't announced a follow-up single. No flashy remixes, no deluxe editions, just Who holding the line like an unstoppable force. What happens next is anyone's guess. Will Who finally step aside for a new track? Will Jimin drop a surprise MV or live performance to push it even further? Or could this be the rare K-pop single that charts for an entire year without losing momentum? If BTS's upcoming group activities in 2026 include a world tour, there's a good chance Who will have its moment live on stadium stages around the globe, solidifying its place as not just a song, but a cultural milestone. For now, one thing is certain: Jimin's Who has done what few songs in the streaming era can do: turn initial hype into lasting impact. And in the process, it has reminded the music industry of a simple truth. When a song is honest, it doesn't fade, it grows.
When Who first hit streaming platforms, the industry buzzed, but no one truly expected it to become this. The song's release was timed without the chaotic promotional blitz often seen in K-pop comebacks. Instead, Jimin's team trusted the music to speak for itself. The gamble paid off. In less than 48 hours, Who wasn't just topping South Korea's Melon and Bugs charts, it was taking over the Billboard Global 200 and Billboard Global Exclude US, a feat that only a handful of K-pop acts had ever achieved. Fans across the world started flooding social media with translations of the lyrics. Hashtags like #Who by Jimin, #Jimin Global #1, and #Who Healing Song trended for days. But what set this apart from typical release hype was what happened after. Instead of fading in the second week, Who climbed in regions like Latin America, Eastern Europe, and parts of Africa, territories where BTS had a strong following, but where solo projects often took longer to resonate. By the first week of August, Who was still high on the charts, but Jimin's other activities began amplifying the song's reach. The Los Angeles Night Out. In early August, paparazzi captured rare, candid moments of Jimin enjoying a relaxed evening in Los Angeles with fellow BTS members. He wore a loose black shirt, minimal makeup, and a warm smile, looking every bit the global star at ease. Fans immediately started pairing the photos with clips of Who, saying the imagery perfectly matched the song's calm yet emotional energy. The viral interaction with RM. Days later, an innocent online exchange between Jimin and RM BTS leader exploded across social media. RM had commented playfully on a Weverse post, and Jimin responded with a light-hearted tease. The banter was screen-capped, edited into memes, and even synced to Who in TikTok videos, causing a spike in streams as fans revisited the track. The MTV VMA nomination controversy. When the 2025 MTV VMA nominations were announced, only Jimin received a nod in the Best K-pop category. While ARMY celebrated, the absence of Jin and J-Hope from the nominations sparked online debate. Some saw it as a sign that the industry was undervaluing certain members, while others argued that Jimin's recognition was proof of his solo impact. Either way, it drove voter turnout for Jimin's category, increasing visibility for Who in Western media outlets. If there's one thing the past decade has proven, it's that BTS's ARMY doesn't just support their idols, they strategize for them. In August 2025, fan bases organized multiple streaming events for Who. There was Global Who Week, where fans in different time zones coordinated Spotify plays to push the song's algorithm ranking. There were hashtag takeovers, where users flooded platforms like X, Twitter, and TikTok with themed edits, fan art, and covers. Perhaps the most impressive was the Who Healing Stories project, where fans shared deeply personal accounts of how the song helped them through anxiety, loss, or loneliness. Many of these posts went viral, catching the attention of non-fans and pulling them into the Jimin fandom. Music industry experts have been fascinated by Who's chart trajectory. Billboard editorials noted that Who didn't follow the standard boom and bust pattern of most pop singles. Instead, it had what they called a double wave curve, an initial spike from dedicated fans, followed by a slower but steadier climb from casual listeners who discovered it through word of mouth, TikTok trends, or playlist placements. Spotify's algorithm seemed to love the track, placing it on major editorial playlists like Today's Top Hits, Pop Rising, and even non-K-pop specific lists in countries like Brazil and Spain. One industry analyst in Seoul commented, "Jimin has managed to bridge the gap between fandom-driven success and organic public appeal. That's rare. Usually, K-pop soloists dominate either in fan streaming or general public streaming, but who is doing both?" Jimin has always had a gift for emotional delivery, but Who feels like his most personal work yet. Lyrically, it explores themes of identity and connection, asking, "Who am I without you? Who are we when the world changes?" It's poetic without being cryptic, allowing listeners to project their own stories onto the words. The arrangement is minimalist, giving Jimin's voice room to breathe. The bridge, where his voice cracks slightly, is often cited by fans as the moment that breaks them emotionally.